Okay. Okay, family, we back. Yeah, I'm surprised Instagram let me back on. Shout out, okay, shout out to the family. Appreciate that, guys. Somebody said I love your page. Afro Wolf God. I like that name. Appreciate that, God. Make sure you get the book as well, family. Get the hard copy of the information. Because like I say, man, they do little things on my page. Like they be hogging my reach. They'll ban me from posting certain stuff. Like I was talking about with the Black Hawaiians and things of that nature. They'll ban me from doing certain things. So make sure you get the hard copy of the information. Hit that link in the bio and get the books, family. Peace, God. Peace to all the family. I'm going to let the family get back in here real quick. I actually was thinking about, what was I talking about? Bless. I got the digital copy. Much respect, God. Much respect. Much respect to all the family. Like I say, the book does tremendous, man. I'm constantly behind on getting out books. That's another thing I wanted to say to the family. If you've ordered a book, we will have all the orders caught back up by next Thursday. So thank you for your patience. I appreciate the patience. You know, hundreds and hundreds of orders. I'm trying to get them all out. You know what I'm saying? Me and the team, we trying to get them all out. So I appreciate that. I really appreciate the love and support, and I thank you for the patience. You dig? Absolutely. Yeah, I try to let y'all know when I'm going live. You know, Instagram don't be alerting everybody, though. But you know how that is, family. You know how that is. But like I was saying, damn, what was I talking about? Oh, I was talking about Morocco, how they were the first ones to recognize the United States. So at the end of the day, the United States understands what they're doing. And that's why our brothers and sisters in Zimbabwe, you know, they got to pay these reparations to white farmers, which is ridiculous, paying it to the same colonizers. The only thing brothers and sisters in Zimbabwe owe white farmers is a tail whipping. That's the only thing they owe them. That's the only thing white farmers in Zimbabwe are owed. And you know they love to play victim. I saw a white farmer. He's from Zimbabwe and he's talking about, dude, man. Now white people talking. We're just out of money, man. I can't be held responsible for what my ancestors did. White people love to play that game. I can't be held responsible for what my ancestors did. But you can take the money that your ancestors left behind, huh? When your ancestors leave something behind, you can take that money in. You can transfer that wealth. You ain't got no problem taking the money, but you don't want to take the responsibility. Nah, bro, it don't work both ways. You take the money, you take the responsibility. You dig? Yeah, exactly. It don't go. It ain't no. Oh, I want to choose this. I'll take the money. You'll take the wealth. You'll take everything that your ancestors did. You dig? All the businesses, all the economies they created. You will take that perfectly fine. But soon we talking about the responsibilities that come with that, and holding you responsible for your ancestors. Oh, whoa, dude, bro, I can't be held responsible for that. They start turning into Trump with the little hand. Oh, Lord. Dude, come on now, bro. Slavery was a long time ago, bro. They still got living on the same plantation that their grandfather gave them. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I mean, yeah, man. I'm trying to watch what I say too, man. Because somebody told me their kids be watching. So, shout out to all the babies on here watching. You know, all the families on here watching. But you know, you got to get the information to people raw sometime. Yeah, that's exactly right. That's why I need that check. If the United States is going to strong arm African nations to paying their oppressors who colonized them, I need that check from here. And I'm not going to forget about it. I'm not going to just brush over it. Because, see, this is what they do to African nations. We need that check here. And that's why I say that whole United Nations, they're a joke. They're a game. They make black nations pay white folks who colonized them for losing their colonized land. But then don't say nothing to the United States, who has been stomping, beating, called black folks 3/5 of a human being for 400 years. They don't say nothing about that. Then, our hands are tied at this point. Meh. Then they try to run the game. Well, technically, black people are in a nation, so you gotta identify with a nation. Stop. Stop. White farmers in Zimbabwe aren't a nation. You could still find a way to strong arm and make African nations give them some checks. Nah, we ain't finna play that game. Oh yeah, we getting that check by any means necessary. That's the mentality at least I'm coming with. By any means necessary, we getting that check. The price of freedom is death. Malcolm X told us that. The price of freedom is death. You dig? Yeah, let me answer some questions though. Let me get to some questions, family. I really talked the whole first live. I didn't answer no questions. So put your questions down below, family. If you want me to answer some questions. And make sure you go get Voice of the Ancestors Volume 1 and 2, link in the bio. Make sure, family, you get the hard copy of the information. A lot of people have been asking me about audiobooks. Are you going to do an audiobook? I really don't want to do an audiobook. And the reason why, family, I want you guys to read. I know a lot of you don't like to read. I used to be the same way. I don't like to read. I'd rather listen to it. I'd rather watch dope documentaries like Hidden Colors and Out of the Darkness and things of that nature. But reading is very important, family. Reading is like exercising your brain. A lot of you, your bodies are in physical shape. You go to the gym every day. Queen, your curves, you looking beautiful. My brothers, you looking strong and ripped up. But your mind, you mentally fat. A lot of y'all can't think. A lot of y'all can't read a page. This is why, and reading helps with a lot of depression as well. Because a lot of y'all go through depression is because mentally you're out of shape. You can't overcome those obstacles mentally. So you get depressed. You see what I'm saying? That's what reading helps with. That's why I want y'all to read, family. Even if you're reading a page a day, you ain't got to start off reading a Harry Potter novel. You dig? But if you read a page a day, make sure you're reading something. That's exercise for your brain. You dig? Yeah, I start off all my days reading. When I wake up, brush my teeth, take a shower, get all my stuff together, I make sure I go outside. I make sure I get the sun on me. Because remember, the largest organ on your body is your skin. So I make sure I get those vitamins, the nutrients my skin needs from the sun, activate that melanin, and while I'm activating my melanin, I make sure I'm reading a book. That's my stretching. That's how I stretch in the morning. Then after that, we can flow through the day. Ain't nothing stopping me at that point because my mind is clicking, it's juicing, ideas is running through it. Ain't nothing, oh, I need X, Y, and Z. I'm clicking on all cylinders now. My melanin's been activated. I'm good. I'm Gucci now. You dig? Some of us, we get out the bed before we brush our teeth. We hopping on the ground. We hopping on the ground. Or we putting in our headphones. You dig? Gotta read. Gotta read. But let me get to some questions. I'm sorry, fam. I keep missing the questions. Let me get to some questions. Yeah, peace to all the gods in the building, man. And let me get to some questions. Y'all put your questions down below. Yeah, you need that vitamin D, man. You need that vitamin D. You said I have 4 library cards. That's dope. That's dope. I like to buy books. I don't even like to go to the library. I like to buy the book. I like to have a hard copy of the information, man. You know, I'm old school. You dig? I don't want the library to stop me from getting a certain book. Yeah, the movie, the Spook Who Sat by the Door, that's an absolute classic. That's an absolute classic. Absolute classic. If you haven't watched that movie, go watch that movie. The Spook Who Sat by the Door. Absolute classic. So I need to purchase your book. What do you think about the J.R. Lucas comments? Queen, I'll run it down again, but I just talked about that. I talked about that the whole first live. And for those people who don't know, I'm going to put the lives on YouTube. So they'll be on YouTube probably on Monday. If you don't already, subscribe to the YouTube channel, Voice of the Ancestors Chase, because I understand a lot of people be missing the lives. But as far as J.W. Lucas is a product of the cookout culture. The cookout culture where we invite too many people into our culture, and then they start behaving and showing their true colors, their white supremacist colors. So the way we deal with the J.W. Lucases of the world is what we do in the streets. We call it a green light. So in a green light, that might be green lighting you economically, meaning we already green light him economically. He can't come around black people in general, though. He can't. We're not playing about our black women in our community, our black men in our community, and then not our ancestors as well. So whenever you disrespect us, you have a green light from us. Meaning at that moment, antennas can go up. At that moment, we on go when we see you. You see what I'm saying? At that moment, economically, you're not eating because, again, J.W. Lucas is a producer for many black artists. the baby. He eats off black people. So we gonna take that food off the plate now. And you're not ever getting that food back. I don't care, because understand what he's going to do, family. In a couple weeks, he's going to come out and say, I was going through some depressions and I said I didn't mean to say that. Don't fall for that. Don't fall for that. He's in violation for life. You're green lighted for life. You dig? So that's how we have to handle that situation. Economically. And if it come down to it, I ain't going to say that on camera, because, you know, then they'll try to come back on me. Are you threatening him? You know, FBI always watching. Are you threatening him? No, I'm not threatening him. I'm just trying to offer him a glass of wine. That's all I'm trying to do. The FBI. Shout out to the feds and the CIA and the agents watching. You know, because they're always watching. They're always messing with my posts and videos, taking stuff down, things of that nature. Yeah, I got the headband from 19 Keys. Got the headband from 19 Keys. What do you think about the NFAC leader? I don't know. I have to look at him a little bit more. That's the Grandmaster. What's his name? Grandmaster J. Or, you know, I have to look at him a little bit more. Some of the things are disturbing me, though, when I look at it a little deeper. You know, certain things that he's saying disturb me. You know, when he's talking about reparations and things of that nature. But I have to look at it a little bit deeper. I'm not going to speak on it until I've made a conclusive decision. But for right now, you know, to each his own. You know, I'm going to just stay away from that until I do some more research. What am I? Somebody meet Christy J said, what am I reading now? Reading now? Let me show you my books. These are books. I've had all these books for a while, except for one. You know, this is something I read all the time. The 100 Amazing Facts About the Negro. These are just some books I got on my desk right now. What else? This is a book I'm currently reading. This is a great book. 7 Little White Lies by Jabari Osaze. Shout out to Brother Jabari. One of the brilliant scholars in our community. Truly a brilliant scholar in our community. Brother graduated from Cornell, doctor's degree in Cornell. 7 Little White Lies. This is another classic. Let me see what I got up here. Sex and Race. Sex and Race by J.A. Rogers. Another classic. When we're talking about the original Hawaiian people, J.A. Rogers, who was ahead of his time. J.A. Rogers, I think he wrote this book in like 1960. I know he wrote he also wrote the 100 Amazing Facts About the Negro. He wrote this one in 1957. I forgot when he wrote this one. But this is volume 1. There's 3 volumes of this book. So I'm going to read this one soon. I'm on Jabari Osaze's book now, so I'm a fast reader. I'll probably read this, and I usually try to take at least 2 weeks to read a book because I want to retain the knowledge. But after I read this one, I'm going to definitely go to Sex and Race by J.A. Rogers. Let me see what else I got up here. After I read that Sex and Race, I'm going to recap. I read this book already, but Stolen Legacy, George G.M. James. You can't ever read this too many times. You see what I'm saying? You can't ever read this too many times. Stolen Legacy, George G.M. James. Then I'm going to read, I don't know if I'm going to read. I think I've already read this one. I've already read this one recently, like within the last year. But this is another good one, though, as well. World's Great Man of Color by J.A. Rogers. Another J.A. Rogers book. If you don't know, J.A. Rogers is that dude. J.A. Rogers is a legend. You know, he was writing these books in the 50s, 60s. When people were getting dolls sicked on them in fire hoses. And it's sad that many of our people don't even know this knowledge 80 years later that he was talking about in the 50s and the 60s. You know, so those are the books right now. And then I always keep this one. This is like a Bible for me. You know, I actually, you see it's kind of beat up. I got some dollars in it to keep my money. You know, that's my little stuff. I keep my money, some money in my books, you know. But Black Labor, White Wealth, Dr. Claude Anderson, another class. So, you know, that's some good books to read. You know, if I was just to say off the top of my head to start off, I would read, and the book is around here somewhere. Like I said, those are just some books on my desk. You know, I try to look at them every day, just look at the knowledge. But I would start off reading Carter G. Woodson's The Miseducation of the Negro. I would also read Dr. Yosef Ben Yuckerman's The African Origins of Western Civilization. Another great book I got coming, I just ordered today, shout out to Dr. Kaba, Spirituality Before Religion. I feel like that's going to be a classic. I can't wait to read that one. I just ordered that one today. And I also ordered Dr. Ronouk Rashidi's book, what is it called? The African Star Over Asia. The African Presence in the East. That's going to be another classic. See, all this, and this is why people be reading my books. They be like, bro, where you get the knowledge from? I'm always reading, family. Some of y'all collect shoes. Some of y'all collect jewelry. I collect books. You dig? That's my thing. That's my thing. You know, my goal is to have $1 million worth of books one day. You dig? So, but yeah, that's what I'm reading now. Let me get to some more questions, though. What do you think is the end game? The end game for black people? I think the end game for us is freedom and revolution. You dig? Having our own. Controlling and having our own. That's what I think the end game for us is. The end game for white supremacy is total annihilation of black people. That's the end game for them. You dig? But I have to give more detail in that question. The end game for who? Or the end game about what? You said, what do you think we should ultimately be striving to accomplish? I think we should be striving to accomplish in 3 fields, which is knowledge of self. We should be striving to accomplish to get our own schools, teach our own children, because that's really the key. When we can start teaching our own children, we don't have coons who grow up. You see what I'm saying? It's too hard. This is why I don't waste time trying to argue with coons and miseducated Negroes. Well, not miseducated Negroes. I don't spend time arguing with coons because coons are too far gone. Remember, studies show that the brain develops the most between the ages of 0 and 12. So that foundation is important, family. If you grow up with a coon foundation, it's hard to, this is why it's hard to re-engineer a coon. You don't hear stories about coons, people who were once coons, now they woke. That don't happen. That don't happen. That's why I don't spend time arguing with them. A coon is too far gone. You dig? So ultimately, we're trying to get knowledge of self. We're trying to own and control our own schools. But that starts first by banking and owning black. Banking black, because when you bank black, this was Dr. Claude Anderson talks about in his book, Powernomics, another great book that's around here somewhere as well. But when you bank black, you are able to give black loans to black business owners. Those black business owners can then hire the community. They can hire the community as well as control the local politics. Remember, politicians are controlled by the local businesses. That's why politicians are always out there trying to get money. That's why if you want to get a politician's attention, you put some money up. You see what I'm saying? They're always raising campaign funds for re-election. They get those re-election monies from black business owners or from business owners in general. But we need black business owners to do that. In order to have black businesses, it goes back to black banks. Our black businesses have to get black loans. You see what I'm saying? So after you control the politicians, those black politicians, they then control the courts and the police. See, politicians control police. Politicians can stop police brutality overnight. Politicians can say, listen, I'm putting in a black law. Anybody who is killed unarmed by the police, you get automatic life. You see what I'm saying? Politicians going to write the laws and the policies of the area. Cops don't kill people when there's punishment behind it. You see what I'm saying? So they're going to control the courts, they control the judges, things of that nature, as well as the local cops. Then you control the media. The next step after you control the politicians who are controlling the courts and the police, you control the media through your leftover business money. You see what I'm saying? You control the media. The media is going to spread the message to the masses of our people. Black people, we do not have a media platform that's for the empowerment of black people. We need that. You need that. But this is the Powernomics concept. It's levels. It's floors to it. You know, just as a little summary. I'm not going to go too deep into detail because that'd be a whole nother live I could do on that. You see what I'm saying? But like I say, it's about Powernomics. That's what we're hoping to accomplish, controlling and owning our neighborhoods economically and militarily, being able to defend it. We have to study military science. We have to put a military in place. We've had black schools. We've had black media, radio stations, banks, things of that nature. Tulsa, Oklahoma, Black Wall Street was one of them. Rosewood, Florida. You had Edenville, Florida. You had Blackton, New Mexico. You had Nicodemus, Kansas. You see what I'm saying? You had Jackson Ward. You had plenty. You had Auburn Ave down here, Auburn Avenue down here in Atlanta. But all of them, for the most part, was sabotaged by white supremacists. So you have to have a military around that. Have to have some form of defense. You see what I'm saying? You have to. You have to. And if that means making your politicians control these police departments and guard dogs, making sure nothing happens, that's what it is. That's what it is. But I want to have our own military. And this is why I like talking to the brothers and sisters in the streets. That's our military. The Bloods, the Crips, they just miseducated right now. That's what we got to get back in line as well. Because remember, all those organizations, family, all those gang organizations, they started being about black empowerment. That's what they came up from. Remember, the Bloods and the Crips, Community Revolution in Progress. That's what Crips stood for. Community Revolution in Progress. The Crips and the Bloods were offshoots of the Black Panthers, the OG Black Panthers. You see what I'm saying? You had brothers like Bunchy Carter, who was a Black Panther lieutenant. I believe he was a lieutenant, but he was also part of a gang. He was in the streets. You see what I'm saying? We were about black power. They were there to fight off some of those racist white supremacist gangs out in California. That's what they were put in place for. Even going back to the days of New York, remember, you had the Italians and all those immigrants in the early 1900s. They were coming over here terrorizing black people. So then you had brothers like Bumpy Johnson. You had queens like Queenie. They called her Queenie. Her name was, what was Queenie's name, family? Saint Clair or something like that. Damn, I can't remember. But you can type in Queenie. Type in the Queen of Harlem, Queenie. She was known, she ran numbers. She ran dope and things of that nature. She ran what they would call the number system, which became the lottery. That's something else they stole from black people. They took that from the number runners that used to be up in New York. Then they arrested the number runners and started controlling all of it and calling it the lottery, where you guessing the numbers. Same thing, but they would give loans to black business owners and things of that nature. So you got to remember the early gangs, and like I said, brothers like Larry Hoover. Larry Hoover said gangster. He started the Gangster Disciples up in Chicago. But Larry Hoover, once he started to develop his consciousness, who they have locked up now, serving 6 life sentences, they locked him up in jail. They gave him a life sentence in jail. He was already arrested. But when he started saying, listen, the Gangster Disciples don't stand for, GD don't stand for Gangster Disciples no more, it stands for growth and development, they said, oh, we got to give him some more. We can't let him get back out on the streets because he already has the military. And he has the funds. He knows how to get money. Like I said, our brother Jeff Fort, who's another brother locked up in Colorado under a maximum security prison. When he changed the Black Pea Stone Nation to the El Rukins, and he was about black power, he started working with different countries about black revolution. They said, oh, you're a terrorist. We got to get you up out of here. So we got to have a military in place, family. Got to have a military in place. Let me scroll down a little bit. I apologize if I'm missing your question. Y'all can see I'm long-winded when I answer questions. So I really don't look once I'm answering a question. You dig? Yeah, let me get to some more questions. Yeah, put your questions back down. Yeah, Bunchy Carter was a sloth. And yeah, I remember he was something. I know he was in a street gang, but Bunchy Carter was also in the Black Panther Party. You dig? That's what they don't tell you. So that's our street. Those are our soldiers. Remember, every group has their soldiers. The Chinese got the Yakuza. If some Chinese people start ending up dead, them Yakuza's gonna come up. The Bruce Lees of their community gonna start coming out of nowhere, getting people in line. You see what I'm saying? The Italian community, they have the mafia. The mafia ain't dead. They're still around there. The mafia pay the cops not to say nothing. Remember, J. Edgar Hoover wouldn't say nothing about the mafia. But he was sure attacking the Black Panthers. He didn't say nothing about the mafia, though. But that's every community has their street element. When the cops are not on their side, when nothing's working, then your street element kick in. We got to get our street element under control. We got to get them back about black power. You see what I'm saying? That's why we got to get out in the streets. Stop running from street folks. Talk to them. You see what I'm saying? Get game and wisdom for them. Street soldiers, I keep street soldiers around me and talk to them all the time because they going to keep me militant. Our brothers and sisters in the street have a militant mindset. That's something we all need. They know how to move. They know how to operate. They know how to pick up on behavior, pick up on moves. A lot of us need that, especially when dealing with these white race soldiers. You need to talk to some street brothers. They're very good at picking up vibes because they've been in prison systems. They've been out there with other alphas. So they like, hey, you know what I'm saying? You need to watch him. X, Y, and Z. They can peep a lot of stuff real quick. You dig? Yeah, put your questions back down below, fam. Let me see if I can find some more questions. I missed a lot of questions. Yeah, 6 life. They gave Larry Hoover like what they get like. I know he got 6 life sentences. They hit him. They hit him with like that RICO law in jail, where it's like he's running a criminal enterprise and he's selling dope behind jail, and he's still just. They hit him with 6 life sentences. You know, but as soon as he started talking about GD meant growth and development, all of a sudden the 6 life sentences come. You dig? Yes, I've seen the movie. Somebody said, have you seen the movie Hoodlum? Yes, excellent movie. Watch the movie Hoodlum and watch the movie Gangs of New York. Watch the movie Hoodlum and watch the movie Gang of New York. Gang of New York will tell you, they're going to tell you about all those white gangs. Remember, when gangs came over here, white people invented gangs. Gangs is not something of our creation. We created gangs in order to defend against the white gangs, because they were terrorizing us. You see what I'm saying? So we had to get in the streets too, because we like, damn, we stay in the streets too. We got to get us a gang. We got to get us a clique. But again, we've always been off code. We started that tribe tripping. Remember, gang banging ain't nothing but tribe tripping like they do in Africa. You go to Africa, the Hutu don't like the Tutsi. It's the same thing. It's the same thing. So we've been dealing with that a long time. We got to get back on code, though. We got to get back on code. Yeah, Stephanie Sinclair, Miss Queen Sinclair. She was Bumpy Johnson's OG. Bumpy Johnson picked up a lot of game from her. They call her the Queen of Harlem. That's the black woman who was running Harlem. She was keeping all them Italians and different gangs out of Harlem, because Harlem was a black area. So she was running Harlem and stuff. They don't talk about Queen. But she was also, again, funding black business owners. We had a lot of black ownership back then. Because, hell, you couldn't, a white bank wasn't going to give you nothing no way. You dig? Yeah, the El Rukins. Look them up. The El Rukins, a.k.a. the Black Pea Stone Nation. The Black Pea Stone Nation. They got them up out of there. When they changed their name to El Rukins and started being about black power, they said, oh no, Jeff Fort, you got to go. Why do you think some black men are against black power? You think it's because it started by black women? No, a lot of black men, and myself included, I'm in this as well, and hear me out. We understand when you read the Black Lives Matter mission statement, they do not include black men. They do not include black men. If you read their mission statement on their site right now, they are for women's rights and they're for LGBT rights. Something that's cool. I'm not complaining about that, but they are anti-black men. They are anti-black men. Let's be clear on that. Therefore, LGBT. This is why you see a lot of Black Lives Matter flags and LGBT flags. And the reason why that's a big problem, one, it's a big problem because you're allowing the enemy to co-opt the movement. LGBTQ is the enemy. We just talked about the 60s, talked about the Black Panthers and the gangs and things of that nature. J. Edgar Hoover was LGBTQ. He was one of the biggest terrorists of the black community. So once you start introducing sexuality, that's a distraction. And we can't allow that. Number two, you can't be for black people and not mention black men. That's not right. You can't be for black people and not mention black men. Plain and simple with that. So a lot of people feel like, and myself included, feel like the Black Lives Matter movement is an LGBTQ movement. That's all it is. It has nothing to do with our beautiful black queens. We're for black empowerment. Well, I can't speak for everybody. I'm for black empowerment. You see what I'm saying? I'm for the protection of our black women and the protection of the black family. You see what I'm saying? But we're not finna introduce different groups in this. Now we gotta bring people's sexual preferences in here. We're for black people. That means LGBT folks, if you're black, you in the movement as well. But we're not finna put an emphasis on that, because when we start putting an emphasis on that, like Black Lives Matter is doing, then the movement gets co-opted. You see what I'm saying? And that's a big problem. That's a big problem, because a lot of our white supremacists who we fight against come out of the LGBTQ community. You dig? Let me go. Gangs of New York and Hoodlums. Gangs of New York and Hoodlums. Those are the two movies. Gangs of New York and Hoodlums. Yeah, Queenie didn't mess around. Queenie didn't mess around. Yeah, George Zorro funds Black Lives Matter. Like I say, Black Lives Matter is an LGBTQ organization. That's literally what it is. Read their mission statement. It's pretty much an LGBTQ organization, and they're anti-black men. They're anti-black men. You see what I'm saying? What we doing that at? What we doing that at? You dig? Now, I'm going to be on code. I'm not going to get on no white platform and start talking bad about Black Lives Matter so they can use it as an agenda. But I'm not rocking with that. I'm about black power. I'm about black power. You dig? Yeah, but I knew that was coming. Listen, family, I keep telling y'all, we got to start raising our antennas. Whenever white people are pushing something, it's a string attached to it. Let's just call it what it is. Whenever you see all these white people putting up Black Lives Matter, it's a string attached to it. Black Lives Matter was created by black women, but it's funded by white people. So you might as well say it's run by white people. George Zorro did a lot of funding in Black Lives Matter. That's a white man. You dig? Yeah. Yeah, it's turned to and that's what really made me mad is they started tying Black Lives Matter and the LGBT flag on Juneteenth, and they were acting like, oh, this is a day for all sexual people and all people. No. Our ancestors weren't celebrating being able to be LGBTQ on June 19th. You dig? Yeah. Oh, you said the video is freezing. Hey, y'all know how they play. Y'all know how to play. We start getting too heavy. We're talking about white folk now. Talking about white people now. Absolutely. Yeah, they're anti-black man though. You know, so that's why a lot of brothers, myself included, you know, I'm not rocking with that whole notion. I'm not rocking with that whole notion. You dig? It's a way for white people to control the chaos. You dig? Peace, God. Peace. Peace to the family. Peace to the family. Yeah, put your questions back down below. I'm sorry I probably missed a lot of questions. I'm caught back up though now. Put your questions back down below. Yeah, white people cannot be in an organization, family. We gotta understand that, man. We gotta understand that. We gotta understand chess moves that white folks make. White folks ain't gonna say black power. They'll say Black Lives Matter. You dig? That ain't nothing. Black power, that's a powerful word. You know, we talked about imagery. We talked about words with John Lewis. John Lewis' name don't hold no power to it. You say John Lewis, that don't incite black people. But Malcolm, that incites black people. You get your chest out a little bit when you hear Malcolm. That has alpha male energy on it. Warrior spirit energy on it. You dig? How you feel about biopop? I don't even know what that is, guys. Situation biopop. Let me go back up. You dig? I don't know what that is, God. What do you think about Grandmaster Jay? Like I said, I told somebody asked me that earlier. I don't really know anything about him. I gotta, I don't really be studying people like that. I just know he's with the, what does this say, the Not Fucking Around crew or something like that. That's real. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. I got my questions though, but I'm gonna just sit back. When I can't intelligently speak on something, I just sit back for a while and just study. So I'm gonna see how Buddy move, but my antennas are definitely up. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, we'll see. Yeah, they talk about a lot of LGBTQ stuff. You don't see them talk about reuniting the black family. They talk about we're for single mothers, we're for LGBTQ rights and women's rights, and well, damn, when are you gonna get the black people? When are you gonna get the black man? The black family. You see what I'm saying? Shit. How do you feel about Queen Amina? Where does she stand to the other queens? Queen Amina. Let me go down my my history chart. Queen Amina. That was the queen of. She ran like an empire in modern day Nigeria. If I can remember, Queen Amina was. I know she was a warrior queen in West Africa. She was. I want to say she was involved in the slave trade. I can't intelligently speak right now. You're not talking about Queen Amarinas, are you? You talking about Queen Amina? Are you talking about Queen Amina or Queen Amarinas? Big difference. Big difference. Appreciate that, God. Somebody said you're awesome. Appreciate that, God. I'm just doing my part. Just doing my part. Yeah, I don't know much about her. I know her name, and I know she was a West African queen. She was a warrior queen. I heard she was fierce in the field, though. I heard she was fierce in the field. That's somebody I got to do some more research on. And I did research on it. What happens is I read and I remember the name of those people, but I don't remember in detail. That's why I be telling y'all I'm rereading books again. You did? Because what I do now is I read books with a highlighter, and then I read books with my notebook. You see what I'm saying? So I jot down important facts that I didn't know or that I need to be refreshed on. But we were traveling around the world long before Columbus. Absolutely, I agree with that. I agree with that. We were traveling around the world long before Columbus. Absolutely. Let me go back because I feel like you said something before that. Yeah, absolutely. Shit. And goddamn, in fact, Columbus was brought here by black men. A lot of people don't know that. Pedro Alonso Nino, the Nino brothers, they were the ones navigating Columbus's ships. Shit, we were the one who brought Columbus here. Columbus didn't know nothing. Like the grand ancestor Dr. John Henry Clark said, the man was a fraud. He didn't know nothing. Columbus, the Nino brothers brought him here. Pedro Alonso Nino. He was the navigator, I believe, the Santa Maria. What was it? But he had 3 ships, the Nina, the some Pinta, and the Santa Maria. I think he was the navigator of the Santa Maria. Look up Pedro Alonso Nino. These were Moors from Spain. These were Moors from Spain. You dig? Yeah, we used to vacation here. We used to vacation here. Even Columbus in his journals, and his brother in his journals talked about, well, Columbus said when he met the native people, he said, you know, they told him Africans came here trading in gold-tipped spears. This is something that I document in my book, Voice of the Ancestors, Volume 1. They said Africans came here trading in gold-tipped spears. You dig? Columbus's brothers talked about how they saw Ethiopians. Another one was Balboa. Balboa talked about, hey, man, they were talking about Ethiopians were here. You dig? Then we know we got the Olmec heads. Down there, you got the those Bonaparte murals down there. Those are part of the Mayan civilizations. Nothing but black people. I think I'll talk about that next time. I'm gonna get some pictures next time and show y'all that. Those Bonaparte murals down there, nothing but black people on the wall with leopard skin. You see what I mean? I mean with leopard clothing on. Jaguar's probably a jaguar. Jaguar clothing on. You dig? Yeah, we were vacationing here, dude. We've been to America. That was nothing for us. Like I said, we were trading. We were trading. And anybody who knows, honestly, you can look up reports. It's white men who have gotten boats on the west coast of Africa without paddles, and just the currents take you into the Americas. Anybody who know anything about currents from West Africa, the currents from West Africa will take you into the Caribbean islands with no paddles. It might take you a minute. It might take you 40, 50 days. But it will take you to the Americas. See, our ancestors understood currents. That's before the compass. You had the currents and things of that nature. They'll take you to the Americas. No problem. We had been over here. That was nothing for us. You dig? Yeah, the oldest, most complete bones ever discovered in America were the bones of Luzia, Luzia, down there in Brazil. She was a Negroid, as they said, and then they tried to come back. They tried to come back and say, well, no, she wasn't Negroid. She was a dark-skinned Native American. Nigga. That was a nigga. That's what she was. You dig? Yeah, I think they still have her. They still have her replica down there in the Brazilian Museum. The replica of Luzia. Look her up. Luzia. I think her bones are about 12 12,000 years old. Those are one of the oldest, most complete bones they ever found in the Americas. Black woman. You dig? Absolutely. Let me go back up. I missed some questions. If you said somebody said if Africa was named by a white man and they created the word black, who are we? Moors, Jews, Hebrews? Well, first of all, Queen, the white man, Africa was not named after a white man. That's another popular myth, and I'm not saying that in a hostile way towards you because you might not know. Africa was not named after a white man. The white man they try to say Africa was named after is Scorpius Publius Africanus. He got his name from Africa. If you don't know, in the Punic Wars, this is when they were fighting the great ancestor Hannibal in Carthage. The Roman general was fighting Carthage and Hannibal. When they were going at each other, they were talking about the people they were fighting. They were fighting the Afri people. The Afri people. The Afri people are still in modern day Chad, Northeast Africa to these days. These are black people. You see what I'm saying? They were fighting the Afri people. The Afri people called their land the Afri land. The Roman word for land is ka. So Romans put that together, Africa. They just started calling it Africa. But they got that from the Afri people. You see what I'm saying? And in fact, the Roman general, Africanus, he got his name from Africa. He was born Publius Scorpius, something like that. But you can look that up, and I'll put that in my stories because that's another popular myth. Africa was not named after a white man. The white man named himself after Africa. You see what I'm saying? They were fighting the Afri people. They called it the Afri land. The Roman word for land was ka. They just put it together, Africa. That's how it was. And as well, you had several other names. At one point in time, all of Africa was called Ethiopia. That's well documented. So depending on who you were fighting, Europeans were fighting, they would just call the land that. Yeah, the land at one point was called Ethiopia. What was the other one? Al-Kubalan or something like that. I forgot the name. Dr. Ben talks about that. But Africa was not named after a white man. The white man named himself after Africa. That's how he got the name Africanus. If you look at history, there's a Roman general named Germanicus. He named his name. He conquered the Germanic people of Germany. So he named himself. That's common in European culture. When they want to dominate a people, they say, I am the Africanus. He named himself after the land. We didn't name us after him. Who the fuck is this nigga? You see what I'm saying? We didn't name after him. Same thing, like I said, you had a Roman general named Germanicus. Named itself after Germany. After he conquered Germany. And those people of Germany. Same thing. But you also said, and they created the word black. Black, this is the thing with the name game. Black people, we called ourselves different things at different times. Black, I would agree that black is a European concept. That's a European name. The reason why I don't get into the name game is because then they start reclassifying ourselves out of our positions. You see what I'm saying? They all treat us like we black. If you call yourself Moor, you call yourself Indian, you can call yourself Aboriginal. They treat you like you black. So I don't get into the whole name game because it doesn't do anything for us right now because we don't have our own nation anyway. You see what I'm saying? The Moors were black people. In fact, Moor was commonly used in replacement of the word black. It was meant to describe black people. You see what I'm saying? Blackamoor. That was a common term. They would put the two together, Blackamoor. You had a lot of people named Blackamoor, things of that nature. Moor meant black in the eyes of Europeans. Yes, indeed. Moors meant, so we're all these people to answer your question. We're the Moors. We're the original Jews. The original Jews come out of Ethiopia. These are known today as the Falashas. All that Judaism comes out of Ethiopia. That don't come from the Ashkenazi Jews that you see today that's always trying to tell you everything you say is anti-Semitic. Remember, Semitic is nothing but, there's really no Semitic people. Semitic is a language. That's a people who speak many of the Semitic languages. So one of the Semitic languages is Hebrew. You got copy. You got all type of languages put together. So this is people who speak this language. Many of these people were along the Nile. These are the same people that Herodotus, the great Greek historian, described as being burnt of skin and having woolly hair. So we're all these people. We don't need to get caught up, in my opinion. We don't need to get caught up in the whole, we're this people. We're all the people. We're Moors. We are the original Moors. We're the original Jews. We're the original Hebrews. All these of our people. We're the original Muslims. We're the original Christians. All that comes from African, the African mind. You dig? All that comes from the African mind. The original Muslim brothers and sisters, these are the what they call today the Vendoid people. These are people who are black with wavy, smooth hair. Later called the Negritos. When you move over to Asia, they call them the Nagas, the Negritos, tiny black people. These people then spread it and went all across the world. They went to Australia, the Aborigine. They went to Melanesia. Melanesia means the Black Islands. The shit means the Black Islands. We spread across the world. Our phenotypes changed. We had different color hair. This is why you see black people in the Melanesian region. They have blonde hair, beautiful blonde hair. Beautiful blonde hair. But they jet black. Different things. You have people with red hair all over the place. So we're the original everybody. We don't just try to get one name and then everybody one name. Got brothers like that all the time. I say, oh man, yeah, you know, it's black people in Polynesia and everything. Man, them ain't black people, them Moors. Brother, shit, we the Moors, we everything, brother. Them ain't black. That's the 12, that's the lost 12 tribes. That's the 12 tribes of Israel. There ain't no black people, them 12 tribes. Oh shit, brother, come on, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, we ain't gotta focus on just one name. We are everybody. You dig? Let me go down to the topic because I've been skipping just to break that down though real quick. Yeah, Scipio Africanus. His name is, but his full name, he was born Cornelius Scipio Publius or something like that. And then after he won and defeated Hannibal in Carthage, that area which was known as the Afri area, Afri land by the Afri people, he then changed his name to Sculius Cornelius Africanus. He put that text in. That's a title. You see what I'm saying? But then we don't know history, so we go back and we find somebody Rome, and white folks say, man, y'all named y'all land after a white man. No, we didn't. No, we didn't. You dig? And shit, Africa had many names. Afri land was only one of the many names. Like I say, if you go anywhere across the continent, if you go to the northeast part of the continent, they call all the land Ethiopia. In fact, as the legend goes, the only part is the part that's Ethiopia now is the part that white people couldn't conquer. So they left that little part and called it Ethiopia. You dig? Yeah, man. No, I gotta do some more research on the Library of Alexandria. Like I said, there's so much knowledge and information I gotta get to, family. I gotta do some more research on the Library of Alexandria. You know, that's why I try to space out my books. You know, I dropped Volume 1 of Voice of the Ancestors last year, and I did that because I wanted to keep developing my consciousness. Like, I can release Volume 3 today. Volume 3 is done. But I keep learning and I keep growing, so I go back and I add something. Go back and I add something. Go back and improve on it. Source it. Give you sources that many of us may not know before. Give you information. I'm always reading. I'm always growing. I read a lot, family. You see what I'm saying? I read a lot. So I'm always learning stuff. So I got to look at the Library of Alexandria. Yeah, Africa was called many different things. But Africa is an original name as well. Even Europeans will tell you that's not from Rome. You dig? Absolutely. Black people, the original people everywhere. That's a fact. That's a fact. Yeah, you go to Fiji. Fiji, you got brothers there with huge afros. Brothers and sisters with huge afros. You see what I'm saying? Brothers and sisters there with huge afros. And Europeans know this. That's why I tell y'all don't fall for the name game. That's why I'm careful. Because see, when you go and you point out the original Hawaiians were black, then you got these fake $5 Hawaiians try to tell us they weren't black, they were Polynesian. Motherfucker, Polynesian is the same people as black. The Polynesian Islands were populated by the Melanesian people. Melanesia means the Black Islands. You can look that up. The Black Islands. That's who populated Polynesia. And also you had our brothers and sisters from the Philippines. The original people of the Philippines are the Atas people. AKA, they are known as the Negritos, little black people. I posted that on my page the other day. They're still there. These are the original people who pollinated Polynesia. These are black people. But that's why we got to be careful with this when we start renaming stuff. We them, we not them. We them, we not, we everybody, we the original. Everything, all spiritual systems come out of Africa. That started with African people. So when you say Hawaii was populated 2,000 years ago, that was black folks. Understand, there was no concept of, remember, white people or pale-skinned, light-skinned people are nothing but 6,000 to 8,000 years old. We've been in the Americas at least 12,000 years. The Aborigine have been in Australia 60 to 80,000 years. You see what I'm saying? These are black people. It's impossible for them to be any other color because these colors didn't exist. This is according to their scientists like David Rich at Harvard University, who's a lead geneticist at Harvard. And I documented him in my book. He'll tell you, white skin didn't exist 6,000 to 8,000 years ago. This is why when they dig up even bones in Europe, that's why I don't call white folks Europeans. You ain't even Europeans. We're the original Europeans. The original Europeans were the Grimaldi people. The Grimaldi man, as they call them. These were slender African people with Negroid features, as they say. You dig? This is why when they did that rediscovery of Cheddar Man, if y'all don't remember, a couple years ago, they did the new Cheddar Man. And he was black skinned, blue eyes. Had long, straight black hair. He was an African. Because there wasn't no whiteness back then. You dig? But let me go to some more questions before I get going heavy on that. You dig? Yeah, all type of names, family. Let me go down to some more questions. I ain't gonna be on here too much longer though. Yeah, Queen Cleopatra was black as well. Absolutely, she was both Greek and African descent, so she was black. You see what I'm saying? She was black, and we don't even have to get caught up in Cleopatra because Cleopatra really didn't build nothing, family. If we're gonna be honest with you, she was one of our sisters, but Egypt, the pyramids were built, all the obelisks, things of that nature, the schools, the Meta Nature was in, everything was already in by then, you know. Yeah, Dr. James Smalls, everybody's broke down Afrikaners, but that's why shit like that is dangerous, family. Because we got people out here talking about Africa got his name from a white dude in Rome. No, they didn't. Our ancestors probably mad as hell that people keep talking about that. But we gotta read, family. This is the importance of reading. See, we gotta stop trying to listen to everything. You gotta read, and I hear that a lot from brothers, and sadly, I hear that more from black people than I do white people. Because white people mostly don't even say that; they know that pseudo. You see what I'm saying? I hear that from black people who trying to claim aboriginal status, so they feel like in order to say they aboriginal, they gotta disrespect Africa. But you don't. If you want to call yourself aboriginal, cool, but don't start spreading lies, bro. That's a lie. That's a lie. That has been debunked many times. Trust me. That's not the first time that somebody has said Africa, and I'm not even, talking about that queen per se. I'm just answering the question. But that's not the first time I heard that. Africa named after a white man named Africanus. No, it's not, nigga. Read a book, B. You dig? What happened to the Moroccan government that was the original American agreement was with? What happened to the Moroccan government? So you're trying to say what happened to the Moroccan influence or the Moorish influence in early America? Well, a lot of the Moors, in the parts I do know, because again, I'm a student of the game as well. I'm studying just like y'all studying. A lot of the Moors that were here early on got reclassified. Because remember, Moor was meant black to Europeans. Moor meant black. So that word was used interchangeably. Moor, African, Ethiopian, all that meant black. Dark copper. They even started saying dark copper color people. Dark copper color Indians. That's black. You see what I'm saying? If you take something like, okay, for example, a penny. This is a penny. This is what a penny is, a copper color. When they say dark copper color, you put a penny on your skin, they're talking about black people. You see what I'm saying? The lingo was different in different places with different Europeans. They're talking about, if this is a penny is copper. This is an old penny, a dark copper color penny. You put a dark copper color penny to my skin, it's black people. You see what I'm saying? They said that about the original Hawaiians as well. They said that about the original Hawaiians as well. They would call them dark copper color people. You dig? And in fact, I think I got, hold on, let me see. I might have some receipts on that right now on my phone. Because I showed this to the family last time. I think this is it. This is from the British press in public. If you don't know, Kamehameha II, the son of the king Kamehameha, the first king of Hawaii, he went to London. Was it London or he went to England? Let me just say. He went to England in the late 1800s. Excuse me, the early 1800s. Like 1820, 1824. He went there and they described the people, as you can see on the bottom, family. I can't see the complete picture. But they were talking about how they looked. And they described them as dark copper colored people, almost approaching black. These were black people. Can y'all see that, family? Can y'all see the picture? This is what they said about them. This is documented. This is white folks. They came there because they were visiting as royalty, and they like, well, these look like niggas. These are dark copper colored people. They were talking about how big they were and things of that nature. Oh yeah, you know, I'm gonna keep the receipts on me now. I'm gonna keep the receipts on me because this is why we gotta study and do research. That they were describing them. They were talking about how tall they were, how big they were. They were 6 feet. They were very dark skinned. You dig? Yes, indeed. But y'all can see it all the way at the bottom. They were very dark. Absolutely. But let me get back to myself. Yes, Lord. How do you feel about Nick Cannon backtracking on his words? Nick took a L on that. I mean, we just got to be honest with that. I still like Nick, but Nick took a L on that. You know, some people are trying to pass it off as a chess move. It's not a chess move. And I watched the interview with Nick and the rabbi. It was an L. You know, it seemed very scripted. He didn't ask him to me any tough questions. It was more like, I was like, damn, Nick, if you apologize one more time in the interview, brother, I'm gonna have to cut it off. You dig? Shit. I mean, Nick was just apologizing left and right. You dig? So yeah, I didn't like it. You know, I think he took an L on that. But again, as the ancestors told us, celebrities, Malcolm told us that a long time ago, celebrities aren't our leaders. We can't use celebrities as our leaders in the black community. You dig? Yeah, make sure you go get Voice of the Ancestors Volume 1 and 2. I'm going to go in about the original Hawaiians in Volume 3. I'm going to go all the way around the world. I'm going to talk about the name game they like to play with us and the racial groups and things of that nature, how they like to reclassify black people. These are black people. They want to call them something else. That's a game. That's a con game. They like to play. These people be blacker than me, but they ain't black. You know what I'm saying? We're going to talk about that in Volume 3. We're going to title that one Black Magic. Voice of the Ancestors Volume 3, Black Magic. You did. That's going to come out February 2021. Like I say, it's already written, but I'm always learning, so I'm going to keep adding to it. Hold on, family. The video is about to end again. I don't know. How do y'all make the video? Because I be seeing people go on Instagram Live past an hour. But for some reason, they want to cut my video off on every hour. So I'm going to end the video real quick, and I'm going to come back on probably for like 15, 20 minutes, and then I gotta do some work, family. You did. So hold on. Let me end the video and come back. Peace. Okay, we back. Like I said, I'm be on here about 15 minutes. Y'all put your questions back. Put your questions back. I apologize if I be missing questions, family. Like I say, I like to give people a good answer, a good response if I had a knowledge on the situation. So, you know, I be kind of, you know what I'm saying, long-winded. So, I be missing a lot of questions. Peace, God. Peace, God. Y'all got some unique Instagram names. I be trying to say give you the attention you deserve, Queen, but you know what I'm saying, your Instagram name kind of long. You dig? Peace, family. Yeah, put your questions back down below. I'm gonna get to about, another 15-20 minutes, then I got some work to do. I always say I'm gonna get on here and stay an hour, and then it'd be 2.5 hours I'll be on here. Okay. Books you recommend for black people trying to connect back to their roots. Like I say, I talked about this a little bit last time. I would do Miseducation of the Negro by Carter G. Woodson. I would do The African Origins of Western Civilization. I would also do They Came Before Columbus by Dr. Ivan Sertima. Before the Mayflower by Lerone Bennett. Let me see. What's another one? And when you really get advanced, I would do Stolen Legacy by George G.M. James. To give you a pretty good foundation on the knowledge and the information. In J.A. Rogers, The 100 Amazing Facts About the Negro. That's what I would do. So where do you feel white people come from? White people, in my opinion, based on my research, white people come from the Caucasus Mountains in Europe. That's where they originate. That's where that white skin, if we're talking about the physical characteristics, that's where that white skin, blue eyes, that's where that come from. You see what I'm saying? That's where that come from. So that's why I would say that's their origin. Now, that doesn't mean they're the original people of Europe. Like I say, we were in Europe 46,000 years ago at least. And that's a light number. We know we were in there far before that, but that's just the oldest bones found. You dig? But yeah, the Caucasus Mountains. Do you know there are fighting systems in the African diaspora and continent? What do you mean fighting systems? I understand that a lot of, black folks, we originated a lot of, again, warfare and things of that nature. You got to understand, Hannibal, the great Carthaginian king, they studied his fighting tactics in military schools. They studied the fighting tactics of Queen Nzinga, the guerrilla warfare that she used. They studied Shaka Zulu in military schools. These were great African warriors. If you go on the walls of Kemet, you will see the early form of martial arts. They called it Muntu. Muntu. That's before martial arts. You see what I'm saying? They called it Muntu. And really, martial arts is named after the Greek god, I forgot, it's martial something. You dig? But the early form of martial arts, our ancestors were practicing that in ancient Kemet. They called it Muntu. So we know we have a lot of fighting systems across the world. Guerrilla warfare, we introduced that. You dig? Down there in Brazil, they had capoeira, which is like a dance. But that shit, nigga, you would think a motherfucker dancing and then he'd kick your head off. You see what I'm saying? So our ancestors were real cunning in the art of fighting. But one of the reasons why our empires fail is because fighting wasn't a hobby for us. You see what I'm saying? We were good at fighting, but we weren't trying to go and conquer other nations. We were about exploring. We were about building, things of that nature. We weren't about just abusing our power and harming other people and taking over the world like Europeans had. We didn't have a standing army like Rome of 1 million people. But Rome knew what was up at the end of the day. You did. We were always respected fighters. Remember, we were naming our cities after our respected fighting skills. You had the ancient city of Tasseti. Tasseti meant the land of the bow. It was said that the Romans and the Greeks would go hire bowmen from the ancient city or Nubian cities of Tasseti and other ones of that nature. You dig? So yeah. I know Muntu for sure. What God did our ancestors worship? That's not, you can't, you know what I'm saying? You can't put one God to that question because you just depending on different people at different times. It's not just one God, depending on where you were. You might, if you were in ancient Kemet, you might honor Ra, Amen, Ptah. You see what I'm saying? And mainly our gods were used to describe nature around us. So Ra was symbolic of the sun. But they weren't talking about it was no dude walking around with a falcon on their head, like they be trying to make it seem like in Egypt, and then they put it on shows like Ancient Alien talking about some, oh well, they were talking about aliens coming down. Nah, so just depending on where you were. If you go over to West Africa, you had the Orishas. The Orisha did, you had Shango, you had Ogun, Oya, you had Obatala. You have different, so I can't say what we worship like we worship one complete God, everybody universal on the continent. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, just different things at different places. Our ancestors had gods down in Mexico and in different places around the world. It wasn't a universal type thing, but all of them were kind of built around the same concept of nature and describing nature around you to a certain degree. Did you know Cleopatra's little sister was a full African? I did not know that. I'm going to put the book list in the stories. I'll put my book list in the stories. Hey, I appreciate that, God. Like I say, make sure you go get Voice of the Ancestors Volume 1 and 2. What do you think white people came from? Where do you think white people came from? Why do black women have the ability to make white people with the Eve gene? I just talked about where white people came from. Based on my research, it's the Caucasus Mountains to a certain degree. The black woman, I always say the black woman is God. African people, we're the original family. We're the original. We hold the Pandora box in genes. There was a scientist by the name of Mendel's Law, and he talked about dominant and recessive genes. We possess dominant genes. This is the reason why the black woman is able to make white people. We hold the genetic Pandora box. This is why you can get two black people and we can create a white-skinned baby with blonde hair, blue eyes. We call them now today albino. You dig? Our albino brothers and sisters. That's the Pandora box that black people possess. We are the original. Every man, woman, and child comes from the black family, originally. You see what I'm saying? Now, we might get in different climates. We've been here so long that genetics might start to change as far as hair texture, humanity, depending on the climate we're in and things of that nature. But other than that, we hold the Pandora box. The black woman is the original. There was a study done by Newsweek. I believe it was put out on July 1st, 1988, Newsweek. They ran a story called Mitochondrial Eve. Look up Mitochondrial Eve. This is scientific proof that all people come from a black woman in Central Africa about 200,000 years ago. That's not to say that she was the only black woman during that time, but she was the only one, her genes were the only one that survived. So all of us can trace back to one black woman in Central Africa 200,000 years ago. That's scientific fact. That's scientific fact, family. You see what I'm saying? And we know by other studies and geneticists like David Rich that white pale skin didn't exist to 6,000 to 8,000 years ago. We know the world was black. The original people everywhere were black skinned people. That's why I say don't let them try to reclassify you and call you a certain name. They're talking about the same damn people. When they talk about copper color, when they talk about Moor, when they talk about black, when they say African, when they say Aboriginal, Indian, whatever they Ethiopian, whatever they want to call you, they talking about the same genetic phenotype people, the black skinned people. Curly, kinky hair, that's the original, that's the dominant traits. So when we study Mendel's Law, you understand that dominant traits are the only thing that can give birth to a recessive trait. You see what I'm saying? A recessive trait can never give birth to a dominant trait. Recessive traits are pale skin, blue eyes, blonde hair. That's why white people can never make a black person. You don't hear about white people making dark-skinned white people. They can't make anything darker than themselves. We hold that Pandora box. So that's why the black woman, I love to say the black woman is God. That's not to diminish the role of the black man, because we gods as well. But she is the original. As a black man, she completes me. You dig? But let me go to some more. I'm going to answer a few more questions. Again, I'm sorry I'm not getting into all your questions. Yeah, I will post the books and the stories. Family, what is your opinion on Charlemagne the God of facilitating derogatory comments about Francis Chris Wilson? I got to go back and see that. And now I know he runs with that white supremacist, and what's his name? Andy Schultz. He's another culture vulture. Another somebody who's a culture war. He leeches off black culture, and he's got a lot of white supremacist tendencies. He's always fixing his mouth to say something about black people, saying something about Dr. Umar Johnson. He was calling Dr. Francis Chris Wilson a fraud. But notice, I keep telling y'all about white people. White people will call you a fraud, but don't tell you it was fraudulent. I tell you that all the time, family. Just like they'll say something was anti-Semitic, they don't tell you what was anti-Semitic about it. They don't say what exactly you said was anti-Semitic because they can't prove anything. It's, I'm white and I say so. So that dude, Andy Schultz, he was probably around him when he said it. But I don't know. I have to look that up. And we got to start again, challenging them. What did she say that was disrespectful or not true? Because they love to try to attack Queen Mother Dr. Frances Cress Wilson. But everything she said in that book, she talked about how back in the 90s and the 80s, she said black men are going to be wearing dresses. There's going to be a push to feminize the black man. Was she lying? Do we need to pull up receipts on that? So they'll just say, oh, well, she was a fraud, she was this, she was that. But they won't tell you what was fraudulent about it. So we don't even entertain clown shit. You see what I'm saying? When they come with some receipts and they sit down at the table, then until then, we don't even acknowledge it. We don't even acknowledge it. Like I say, but that's a legend in our community. We're not worried about what white supremacists or Negroes who are miseducated say about her. You dig? Let me go down some more. I'm not ignoring family. I missed some questions. Somebody said you are ignoring the question. Let me see if I answer. Yeah, I'm not. Trust me, family. I'm not ignoring your questions. I stop on the question that I'm about to answer. So I might not see your question till late. He said slavery stopped white-on-white crime. Hey, there was a lot of white-on-white crime in Europe. That's a fact. Can you please post it? Yeah, I'm going to post a book list, like I said in my stories. Phenotypes change, but genotypes remain the same. I agree. That African gene, Magister, let me put an emphasis on this brother's name because he keeps saying I'm dodging his question. I agree with that. Or sister, I don't know if that's a brother or a sister, I can't tell. Damn and all black. Yeah. But see, what I do is this. Because white people try to pull that too. They try to pull that with me. They come. Well, if everybody's black, if we all came from black people, I can say nigga. Listen, nigga, you can say whatever you want. Just be prepared for the consequences that come with it. That's how you gotta play with black people, white people. They're trying to play that game. You dig? There are differences between us, and we gotta stop with this whole thing. We all part of one human race. No, we're not. Human is a species. Let's be clear on that. Humans are species. That's a species. The human species. In that species, you have different race. Same as the cat. The cat is a species. But the domesticated, your house cat ain't the same as a damn lion. That's a different race. Different classification. We different. We ain't gonna sit up here and act like, oh, we all the same. Now, we all came from the same mother. We had the same early human ancestors. Same species. But we have different racial groups, different things separate us. See, after you then raped and killed millions of our ancestors of the black race, we ain't finna be buddied up with you. They love to try that we all human race when we start talking about getting tangibles and reparations. And we start talking about fighting back. Whoa, now we all one human race now. No, player. No, you my race. I'm my own race, black race. You the white race. Stay over there. We got differences. A house cat don't be trying to chill with no lions. You see what I'm saying? They understand there's differences. There's differences between us. If he gets the chance, he might eat me. He might kill me. You dig? That's a fact. That's a fact. Said we had the rhythm they love. Yeah, those white supremacists just lying. Like I say, I didn't invent race. in a perfect world, because remember our ancestors didn't have race, we more went by tribes and things of that nature. I didn't invent race, but I'm damn sure gonna play the game. And the reason why I'm gonna play the game, because in the eyes of white supremacy, they play the game. In the eyes of white supremacy, you can call yourself a Moor, you can call yourself a Nubian, you can call yourself Hutu, Hausa, name yourself after your ethnic groups. That's what I try to tell brothers all the time. At the end of the day, they treat you like one big nigga. So if they're going to treat us all the same, we might as well unite around the same principles. You dig? For 400 years, they told us, all you black-skinned people, because remember, we were telling them, you had Moors saying, no, I'm not black, I'm a free person of color. You had different ethnic groups saying, they were selling each other out, no, I'm not like him. Yeah, we genetically are the same, but I'm a different people. We didn't have race like that. All the white people came and said, hey, no, all of you look alike. You're part of the black race. You're Negroes in origin. Right now, you're Negroes. You're genetically pretty much the same. You have the same skin color for the most part. Everything like that. So you're all black. You're all going to be slaves. So then when we say, okay, well, if we're going to get our ass whooped anyway under black, we might as well point out all the black history across the world. Then all of a sudden, then it's, oh, no. These people aren't black now. Just because they have the same skin color as you don't mean they're black. Nah, we not going to play both sides of the spectrum. You dig? We not going to play both sides of the spectrum. They like to play both sides. We all black when it's time to be enslaved. Oh, then your skin color matter. Then your hair texture matter. All of you have curly, kinky hair. All of you are black now. But then when we say, okay, well, cool, let's point out black history. The Hawaiians were black. The original Polynesians, the original Melanesians, all the original people across the world, from the Angkor Wat civilizations to the civilizations, the Olmecs, the Mayans, all these were black people. They had the same skin color. This is the same thing you've been enslaving us under. Oh, well, no. Now race is different. Race now is about where you're from. Stop. Balance a civilized molecule. Maybe so. You did. But hey, man, I'm about to get out of here, family. I got to do some work. Man, I've been on here way too long with the family. But, you know, it's always an honor to kick game and flavor with the family. I got to go get out of here. But, family, do me a favor. Click that link in the bio. Make sure you get the hard copy of the information. I know y'all like when I chop up game. I know some of y'all don't like to read. But, family, you got to read. You got to read, family. Make sure you hit that link in the bio and get the hard copy of the information. Exercise and expand your mind. A lot of you are physically in shape. You are mentally out of shape. Mentally, you are out of shape like a motherfucker. That's why y'all smoke so much. That's why you drinking so much. Because you got depression up here. You ain't working your mind. So as soon as you come across an obstacle, you can't think your way out of it because your mind ain't used to thinking. It ain't used to learning. It ain't used to pushing itself. You see what I'm saying? If we want revolution, we want black power, it come with exercising this. This is the greatest skill. It ain't our physical abilities. It's this right here. This helped us create civilizations all across the world. This helped us create spirituality. This helped us create feats of architectonics that had never been seen before in the world. The mind right here. We got this what we got to take back. Malcolm once said, nigga, you ain't lost your name, you lost your mind. We got to get back to mind. We got to read. That starts by reading, family. So, but like I say, until next time, get that Voice of the Ancestors Volume 1 and 2. The link is in my bio right now. If you haven't already, subscribe to the YouTube channel, Voice of the Ancestors Chase. That's where all these lives will be probably on Monday. But until next time, family, peace and black power. I'm out. Oh, and DM me if you have some questions. Because I know I missed some questions. DM me if you have some questions. But I'm out.